Our president is black.
Family, give yourselves a hand clap for coming out tonight. For those of you who don't know, I just want to share a little something about the Universal Hip Hop Parade. This is our 10th year. What the Universal Hip Hop Parade is about, it's about what the sister so beautifully said. It's about black power. It's about everybody. Everybody's welcome. When black people do things, everybody benefits. So everybody is welcome. Any of you who have friends, associates, who don't consider themselves black or African, invite them out so they can come to Brooklyn, come to Bed-Stuy, and see some of our flavor. But it is a black thing, and we proudly say that. We do it in honor of Marcus Garvey, one of our greatest organizers. Everybody here familiar with the great Marcus Garvey? I had to wear a shirt today just in case anybody doesn't know what the fellow looks like. Garvey was one of our greatest. But what you can do on Saturday, August 15th is this. Whatever creativity that you're involved with, be it a clothing line, be it you make poetry, you write books, you are affiliated with an independent label, encourage them to come out on the streets of Bedford-Stuyvesant. We're going from Marcus Garvey and Myrtle all the way to this corner right here, Fulton and Bedford. It's an opportunity to promote your business or your cause. Some of you may be involved in fighting against for reparations, against the criminal justice system and how it's locking up most of our people, unfortunately. Whatever your cause is, your block association, your school, your fraternity, your sorority, we want you to come out with banners. You don't have to walk, you can have vehicles, just represent. Now, if you're an artist, many artists want to know how they can perform. We don't have the resources to create an opportunity for every artist in the community to perform that hears about the Universal Hip Hop Parade. Like hip-hop when it first started in the early 70s, some say in the Bronx. I dispute that. That's one man's soul over there. But you need to use your own creativity and resources to figure out how you can create an audio-visual moving, because it's a parade, it's not a festival. It's not one location where there'll be a stage set up for you to come and perform. Now, the Universal Hip Hop Parade as an organization will most likely have their own flow, and we may be able to put one or two artists on it. But for the masses, for people here and for people who aren't here, you have to come together like how the brothers and sisters came together when hip hop first started, by hooking up to light poles and figuring out a way to make their art pop. Now, we're not only talking about rap music. We're talking about all of the elements, b-boying, dance, graffiti. We're talking about DJing. We will have some DJs along the route. But so that's what the parade is about and how you can be involved. Some of you may have gotten a flyer. There's a MySpace, and there's an email, and there's a website on there. Use the email and the MySpace to communicate with us. We want people and organizations to register in advance. That way, when we meet with the police, and we have to meet with the police not because we like the police. We know the police, as has been articulated at this mic earlier, 41 shots, etc. They're often on the opposite side of freedom-loving people like ourselves. But because of the society, we have to deal with them. We can't just shut down the streets. And the streets will be shut down, but through cooperation with them, i.e. permits, etc. So when we meet with the police, we'd like to let them know how many SUV clubs are coming through, how many marching bands, how many sound trucks, etc., bikers, all of the above. So that's why we would like for you to register in advance. Through practice and through the 9 years of history, there's never been one arrest. We've done this for 9 years. So it's a safe hip-hop event. Never been one arrest. We need you to register in advance. A little more about the UHHP, and then I'm going to cut it short. It's this. As as Alkemal said, it's not just a parade. It's an ongoing movement for black power and for social justice, period. The Slave Theater, right across the street, we've been actively involved with trying to save that theater. And I'm saying that because it's not too late. It needs to be saved. That theater is very, very historic. It's sacred ground. And right now, people outside of our community are trying to buy that theater and turn it into a supermarket or a clothing store or something. Dr. John Henry Clark, Kwame Ture, formerly known as Stokely Carmichael, Betty Shabazz, Dr. Yusuf Ben Jahanagan, Khalid Muhammad, of course, legendary activist attorney Alton Maddox, and so many others, Shashi McIntyre, were there at the Slave week after week. That was the #1 place in New York City for black power in the late 80s, early 90s. And if you don't know the history of the Slave, you need to talk to some of the elders in the community. It's still savable. Our organization, and I'm going to pause right now to identify a few people who are here. Namely, Mike Hollywood. Give it up to the DJ. He's one of our co-chairmen. Our other co-chairperson this year is Brother Soul in the back. Give it up for Brother Soul. We have our communications coordinator in the house. Give it up for Brother Jeff on camera. We have our marketing and promotions coordinator in the house. To my right, give it up for Brother Platt. The Black Panther who spoke to you earlier is also part of our board of directors. He's a chairperson emeritus. Give it up for my brother and your brother, Pop Gaskins. But it's not just the Slave Theater. We, as an organization, we can't do everything. So what we're trying to do is try to take ownership for the parade route. All of Marcus Garvey Boulevard. We hope one day to help, with your help, to transform that into an avenue worthy of the name Marcus Messiah Garvey. But slowly but surely, we try to engage all of the institutions on the route. So if you know the neighborhood, you know there's a Bed-Stuy Volunteer Ambulance Corps, one of the first in the world. Let's give them a hand clap. They just got a new building. We're going to be having a press conference there this coming Friday at about 2:30 in the afternoon to get the word out a little more about the parade on August 15th. But not only the Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Food for Thought. How many of y'all familiar with Food for Thought? That's an institution, a black-owned institution along the route. We often do events there. Last year, we had our VIPs, our grand marshals, elected officials gather there.